All right, I'm here with Adam Hasner. Adam, you're running for the Senate race here in Florida. How's the campaign going so far?
Well, it's been going great, and I'm so excited here in Orlando. We've gathered thousands of conservatives from all across Florida who are here for Presidency 5 and also for CPAC, and so it's been great to see the people that I've been meeting, traveling the state 6-7 days a week, county to county, corner to corner of Florida, and so I'm excited by the support and the encouragement we've been receiving, and I think we're building great momentum as I've only been a candidate for 5 months, so we're continuing to build momentum and build support all over the state.
Okay, so the unemployment number continues to be above 9%. We continue to have bad jobs numbers, 0 net jobs last month, and spending's out of control. What would you do to solve that issue?
Well, I think especially here in Florida where unemployment's over 10%, we're not going to get the economy headed back in the right direction until we get our fiscal house in order. And I think what we've seen with the out-of-control spending, that our debt crisis, with debt now reaching near 100% of the size of our economy, is stifling economic growth. And so reining in the size and scope of government, reducing spending, not adding more spending like the Obama administration is proposing, are the answers. And I think that begins with laying out plans for reducing spending across the board. But also, too, it can't just be about cutting spending. We have to do all those things. We have to have a balanced budget amendment to the Constitution. We have to be able to reform entitlements and be able to lower the future costs for Medicare and Social Security. But it's not just about cutting. We have to have a platform for economic growth, and that begins with making sure that we have a tax system that makes sense. Right now, we have so many subsidies and corporate favoritism and loopholes. We need to be able to have a flatter, fairer, simpler system, one which provides job creators with the certainty that's necessary to be able to make investments, to be able to create jobs. We have the second highest corporate income tax rate in the industrialized world. It makes us uncompetitive, and so I think we need to really turn the corner and shake that up so that we can provide job creators with tax certainty. The next level the next issue is the issue of regulatory certainty. And what we've seen from the Obama administration has been attacks on free enterprise and on private industry in their attempts to advance a very pro-union agenda to pay back their biggest political supporters in the big labor unions. And so having the regulatory certainty that's necessary means repealing Obamacare and replacing it with a patient-centered healthcare system, one which will increase access but at the same time control or possibly even reduce costs. We have to be able to stop the job-killing regulations that are coming out of agencies like the Environmental Protection Agency and elsewhere throughout the federal government that are stifling businesses from being able to grow. We have to have a domestic energy policy in this country for more onshore and offshore oil and natural gas. We have so many of our own resources here, and yet we're unwilling to tap into them. And we can do it in a way that's not detrimental to our environment, but we have to be able to extract our own resources. It's good for job creation, but it's also good for our security and the fact that we would be less dependent on foreign sources for energy. And so I think it's a mix between reining in the size and scope of government and having a recipe for growth. And I think when people see that, the businesses and job creators are going to be able to come off of the sidelines and get back engaged. And I just got to tell you, you can't begin this process of making these policy changes until you take back control of the United States Senate and until you make Barack Obama a one-term president. And so we have our work cut out for us, but I just believe that people aren't looking for the types of broken compromises and consensus of the past. They're looking for leadership, and if we lay out our plan and we articulate our vision, I think people are going to respond to it. And so that's what I'm going to be out talking about every day as part of my effort to defeat Bill Nelson and take back control of the Senate.
And one more question. Our president recently met with an Abbas leader before he went and spoke at the UN. To some, they believe President Obama has almost become anti-Israel. Where do you stand on our alliance with Israel?
There should be no daylight between the United States and our allies, and we have no greater ally in the Middle East than the state of Israel. And I think the important element is to remember that Israel isn't just important because of its strategic interest that we have in that region, Also, I think it's also important because we have a shared moral culture and shared values of freedom, but also too there is a bond between our people and the Jewish state, and I think we need to uphold that. And this president, his administration, has been the most hostile since Israel's existence, and I think we've seen it time and time again, whether it's the moral relevancy that he's demonstrated between settlements in East Jerusalem versus bombs and rockets being launched into Israel. I think we need moral clarity, very similar to what we saw when President Reagan was there. We need to be able to make sure that our enemies know that we oppose them, and our allies, like the State of Israel, need to know that we stand with them. And I think that this is a critical time. This administration has, I believe, been reckless with their foreign policy. I believe that their policies of appeasement and their policies of bowing to foreign countries have actually made America less safe, less trusted, and less respected around the world. We need to restore peace through strength, and that begins by having members of the United States Senate who are going to speak up, whether it's a Democrat or a Republican, to make sure that America's security interests are first and foremost. And when it comes to Israel, Israel's security interests are directly related to America's security interests. And so I'm very disappointed with this president and his hostility toward Israel. But more importantly, I'm looking forward to better leadership coming out of a new White House in 2013, and certainly will be a strong and vocal advocate for the U.S.-Israel relationship.
Once again, I'm here with Adam Hasner. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, guys.